considered ways in which both the agricultural value chains and the water management value chains can be disrupted. And as you can see from slide 2, the context is that most farmers and water managers lack digital records and critical farm and business data. So this data-driven farming and management is to better productivity, profitability, efficiency. And the software that isn't in the market is Western software. It is too expensive and it is not tailored to the African context. So like I mentioned before, the need is live, accurate data. Data from the field, data that somebody in the office can relate with, data that somebody in the office can monitor and track digitally. So what am I saying? One, it has to be remote. So if you look at the agribusiness space, we're talking about digital monitoring and tracking of farm operations, farm conditions, farm output, performance, and business processes. I will explain this further as we go. And for water managers, we're talking about digitally monitoring and tracking water levels, water volumes, automating connections, digital billing, and payments. And like I mentioned before, the digital approaches that we identified that are disruptive at the moment are the Internet of Things sensor setups, the IoT sensor setups, and ERP. So I'm just going to share briefly about how each of them affects and disrupts these two sectors and how they can be used to promote activity and efficiency. So the IoT sensor examples, as you can see on the screen. So let's start with a basic definition. The sensors help to collect data from the field. So this data can be in form of the water level, soil moisture, soil temperature, temperature and humidity, and as well as sunlight, the amount of sunlight that is needed. So for instance, people who run greenhouses need to know how much sunlight is the crops are receiving at any particular point in time, and whether that is optimal and whether it can be improved to be optimal in terms of, say, increasing transparency or reducing transparency to let in less sunlight. So for these data points, there are sensors that we can use to collect data from the field, and that is water level sensor, soil moisture sensor, soil temperature sensor. These sensors are connected in an Internet of Things setup, in the sense that they are connected to loggers and they're connected to the cloud, so that information that they gather from the field can be translated into readable format that can be viewed by the farmer or the water manager right from their screen. So this slide that you can see on the screen just addresses the agricultural value chain. And of course, this slide that you can see now addresses as well the water value chains. That is the smart domestic water meter and the smart bulk water meter. So these water meters can be used to regulate the flow of water. They can be used, for instance, to disconnect or connect water remotely. And all these sensors, both in slide number 1 and slide number 2, they are remote sensors. That is what makes them IoT. So that if you are in England, for instance, if you go to vacation, you can still manipulate, you can still change the farm conditions or monitor the farm conditions from your screen. So it can be on your mobile phone, it can be on your desktop stroke laptop screen, it can be on your tablet screen. And all you need is internet connectivity, internet connection, so that you can be able to get this data. So how often can you get this data? For instance, with Upande sensors, we have made them in such a way that you can get data as often as you want. So it can notify you every 10 minutes or every 20 minutes or every 15 minutes. It depends on your preference. Why do we think this is a potential disruptive point? Are they being used? Yes, they're being used. The adoption is still low, and that is why it is a potential disruption point. But again, it is something, using this kind of technology, as we have experienced with some of our clients, increases productivity by up to around 30% at minimum. So you can imagine, if you can increase your productivity by 30%, that also translates to profitability, considering other factors are constant and well managed. When you look at the water sector, for instance, the clients that we have served, we've helped them save revenues by up to 40%. We've helped them reduce water spillage and wastage by up to 20%. This water directly translates to money. This water directly translates in the public good notion, in the sense that it can, some more families can access water, and that means less water is being wasted. So these are some of the examples of IoT sensors that we are talking about. So if I also mentioned the second disruption point, which is ERP. ERP is software that enables digital managing and tracking of business operations and processes. So that means you can do everything in this one software. You don't need a different accounting software, or a different HRM, or a different customer relationship management software, or quality. Everything can be done on one platform. And the beauty is that it brings, on this one platform, it brings all these functionalities and helps you to monitor your farm in real time. So the data that you get from the sensors can be integrated with this platform, so that it feeds automatically into this platform and helps you to monitor your farm operations and your farm performance. It also enables remote working, and therefore you can get to the level of detail that your clients need. For instance, in the customer relationship management module, you have this generated, the opportunity, the customers. You can generate reports. You can change your settings. So as you can see, just like as I'm pointing, these are details that you can manipulate on a day-to-day basis, depending on how your business runs, which means you're getting a hold of your entire business operation on one platform. That is a powerful tool that has not yet been optimized or fully taken up in the agricultural space, as well as water management space. Does it help? Yes. For instance, one of our clients, that is Kericho Water and Sewerage Company, used a version of our Upande ERP, and they realized that their entire operating expenses reduced by about 15%. Now, that is a huge amount when you think about it in money. So you can see this is just a highlight, just an example. It helps you, the ERP helps collect location, crop type, soil disease, weather. It helps you manipulate all these things. You can generate analytics, and from these analytics, you can see how your farm is doing, plant analysis, soil analysis, water analysis. Now, this helps a farmer or an entrepreneur, in this case, an agribusiness, to make better decisions about what to do about a particular thing. For instance, if the soil analysis shows that the soil is not optimal, they can take adequate measures to make the soil optimal for better productivity. So you can also manage sales, purchase, and billing on the same platform. Why is this disruptive? Also because of the model that it has, or the approach that it has. It is subscription based, which means you don't have to pay large amounts of money upfront. Of course, capital can be a problem. So on a continual basis, paying on a continual basis or subscription basis makes it affordable to even small scale farmers. And this is something which farmers are usually excited about, because at this low rate, they can be able to monitor and make better decisions regarding their farms that they couldn't before. It is modular in the sense that it has every kind of feature that you can need. You can add or remove as you please, and that also makes it easier. and you can integrate it with other apps. For instance, you can get notifications on your mobile phone, you can get notifications on SMS or email, and this makes it a very easy tool to use, very digital, but also very easy. It is very accurate and it is very reliable. So if you integrate the IoT sensor setup and the ERP platform, you have a very powerful end-to-end digital technology setup that you can use to monitor your business, monitor critical operations, also in the agricultural sector and the water sector. So we are talking about technology that is, we are seeing this integration going to take forefront next 5 or so years. Africa will be going completely digital in terms of agribusiness and water management.